Hi, do you dread Mondays? I want to suggest that you haven't found your Ikigai yet. Your Ikigai is that beautiful Japanese word for your passion and your purpose, and the reason for waking up in the morning that's bigger than yourselves. In this 2020 motivation series, New Decade, New You, I will provide you with potent ideas and tools to live a life that you adore.
That's one of the lessons I learned. Also, attitude of gratitude. The more gratitude I show, the better I feel about what's happening outside of me.
I think we sometimes take our health for granted, and we realize that during this time that there's a distinct balance between finances and health, and that we should always put health first than finances, and that we need an adequate livelihood. But if we go for too far, it can put our health in a bit of a disrepute.
My personal lifestyle, I always say that a healthy body leads to a healthy mind, and that leads to a healthy lifestyle. For me, keeping fit meant that I would then be mentally strong enough to handle certain situations, and which indeed I was. And of course, believing in I ended the minutes have also helped me a lot.
Something need to burn down or be broken down before something new can actually come out of this. So it's an opportunity for us to grow personally, but also grow as stronger leaders.
There's a saying, your vibe attracts your tribe.
I think I just want to follow on with what Jasper has said with regards to Robin Sharma. And he had basically shared such valuable information. And I just want to share my phone over here. So he speaks about the 7 different types of wealth. And I think a lot of the time we only consider one type of wealth, which is money or finance. But he speaks about health wealth, speaks about social, which is family and friends. He also speaks about career, finance, adventure, of the amount of things that you want to get rid of on your bucket list. He's also talking about impact.
Don't focus on your title. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO of the company. It matters more of what you can offer to the world. Your outer world can never be better than your inner world. Hi everyone, Jasper Basson here. I'm so privileged today to speak to 3 Mr. South Africans, and I'm not going to introduce them. They can do it themselves. So yeah, but from my side, Heinrich, Dieter, and Habib, thank you very much for joining me today. I think it's a perfect time at this stage just to have some inspirational talk going. Hopefully a lot of people will join in the conversation as well. So yeah, the idea of today is really just to some inspirational ideas. So maybe some daily habits that you've implemented in this time in your life. And yeah, we just run through a number of ideas, and let's see if there's any questions as well from the audience. And anybody listening, please let us know where you listening from, and yeah, just give us a wave and an eye. So I'm going to give, I think Heinrich disappeared for a moment.
I think,
but,
yeah.
But he's still somewhere is there.
Yeah, I'm back.
Right, excellent.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna give them a chance to introduce themselves properly and just maybe state what you're currently up to as well. And I will start from with the old topic. This is old as me, so I can joke with them. So, oh yeah, you. so let's start with 2007 and we move our way up from there.
Okay. Yeah, I was registered in 2007. My name is Dieter. My English friends pronounce my surname is Voigt. It's actually German, Voigt, or in Afrikaans, Voigt. So yes, I won the title. I was nominated as Mr. Register a long time ago, 2007. It's 13 years already. Since then, my life changed quite drastically. I became a presenter on Pasella, and I presented for about 5, 6, 7 years full time. I've always been a teacher, so in my heart I'm a teacher. Recently, the last couple of, say about 6, 7 years, I've been focusing on a coaching career. So I'm a full-time coach. I'm involved with young athletes and also a personal trainer, and I help people to do life transformation. So yeah, that's basically myself in a nutshell.
2017.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Habib Noorbai. It may not trigger everyone's memory. It was 3 years ago already. Time has flown since then. But for me, mainly I'm an academic at the University of Johannesburg, and I live my life according to the following motto: an ink of a scholar and heart of a humanitarian is mightier than the blood of a martyr. So the ink of the scholar is at UJ, and the heart of humanitarian is why I entered Mr. South Africa, and use that platform to really captivate the essence of living on the basis of heart, and using humanitarianism to really make a difference in society. So that's something that I do now more on a silent basis. Before, during my Mr. South Africa reign, I was doing quite a bit of activities and posting on social media, but at this point of time, it's more on a silent basis, but still communicating that on a daily basis. But I think for me now, the emphasis is going back into my career in academia, which is in sports science and health sciences, and trying to make an impact there for both students and for the public at large.
Thank you. And your latest Mr. South Africa.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Heinrich Gabler, your current Mr. South Africa of 2019. I was a teacher for 7 years, and after teaching, I was fortunate enough to be crowned Mr. South Africa. But of course, you still do need your 9 to 5, or in my case, 8 to 5, even though you're still Mr. South Africa. So I'm in HR at a trucking and logistics company, Tiptrons. So if you don't mind, yeah, I'm still at work. We deliver essential services at the moment for farming industry, the agricultural industry. And I do have an open door policy. So yeah, everyone's always welcome in my office. So if you don't mind, I might just have to excuse a few guys as they come in. I don't want a locked door. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to be able to chat with you guys this afternoon. There's so much on my heart during this time. But yeah, my whole being is about teach, love, and inspire. And in this time, as this difficult period you're going through, I think I should inspire to a lot of people out there, and just to stay positive and to keep positive. Because that's my whole life, is about being positive and always being optimistic. So I'm really excited to share some time with you guys this afternoon.
Thank you for watching. Just a quick reminder to grab your gift bag for entrepreneurs in the link below. It's a gift bag for entrepreneurs to the value of 57,000 Rand, free of charge. All you need to do is activate it. Part of that gift bag for entrepreneurs is a voucher of 3 months for 3 months free accounting services from a company, Dryk Holdings. All you need to do is activate the gift bag voucher in the link below, and we will be in contact with you as soon as you've done that. Thank you for watching, and back to the interview.
Thank you, everybody. So just there's quite a number of people that jumped on this video. Heinrich Gabler, one of my friends in Fishhoek, said hello from Fishhoek. So thank you, Heinrich, for watching. I see Tim Tron, he used to train with Dieter as well. Thank you for watching. So yeah, if there's anybody else that if you want to say something to any of the Mrs. Africas or everyone, and just the shout out, just say hi, let's share the inspiration together. I think that, we all got to, when the initial lockdown was announced, I think everybody, including myself, was I think frightened. We got, obviously your emotions went through like a roller coaster of a variety of things, and I think all of us had certain ways of how we dealt with that. So we don't have to go that deep if you don't want to, but if there's anything that I will also share something at the end. If there's anything that you've done since that initial evening that's been announced for the lockdown, anything that you feel that you've changed inside of you to cope with the potential stress or the worries about the lockdown, and obviously the financial and everything around that. Anyone first, doesn't matter.
If we keep the financial side out of it, I'll start. Because in that area, I won't be the advisor. No, I'm kidding. I did a bit of research before the whole lockdown came down, and I realized you're going to have to prepare for the worst, but expect the best. So there's about 3 parts to the process. At first, there was a bit of shock, and then back to creating some sort of normal to go back into yourself and realize that there is things that is inside of your control, and then there's a lot of stuff that you have no control over, and to make peace with that. So at first we had to get some sort of routine at home. Always said, okay, one day we might just try homeschooling. And I'm a teacher, so I thought, oh, that's going to come very natural to me. But we battled a bit to get some routine going. So I'd say the first week was just to try out different stuff. I'm working 10 to 12 hour days, so it was quite surprised to see me that often. So that was we had to get used to that. And then I'd say that the teacher inside of me started kicking off a bit, and then realized, okay, we need to get moving. We need to get rid of some of the extra energy. So we started moving inside the house and outside of the house. At the moment, my son is busy climbing a tree. So yeah, we just had to make some changes to our normal routine. And then for me on a personal level, I realized that there's a few things that I need to keep focusing on every single day. And I divided that into different blocks in the day and started plotting it in my diary and then started working from there. And it's quite interesting to see. I'm getting towards the last phase now. In the research that I said, it's almost a bit of significance that comes with. I can see that there's a big part of me that wants to reach out, and it's just starting to come natural now. At first, you feel like you just want to cover your own bases, and now we're at a stage where we realize that we don't need that much, and we still have abundance, and we can start sharing with what we've got, which we didn't actually thought we have extra. So that's one of the lessons I learned. Also, attitude of gratitude. The more gratitude I show, the better I feel about what's happening outside of me. And by starting to live according to that, start the day with, ew, what are my blessings? And just start naming that. And then you almost you're getting stronger as you go on, and you can face bigger challenges. At this stage, I'm really very much enjoying this. So yeah, to me, training, keeping to a set structure routine for every day, and then just to keep everyone around me healthy and safe. That was in the beginning my focus, and now we're starting to reach out and see where we can help our brothers and sisters in life.
Oh, well, amazing. Habib, do you want to maybe we keep the sequence going?
Yeah, sure. I think maybe just to extend on what Dieter said, I completely agree. And I think this pandemic of being in lockdown or having restrictions has provided further impetus towards the values that we need to treasure. And some values are like patience, consideration for family and friends during this time, taking care of health, and really appreciating the very little things that we have in life. And I think we sometimes take our health for granted, and we realize that during this time that there's a distinct balance between finances and health, and that we should always put health first than finances, and that we need an adequate livelihood. But if we go for too far, it can put our health in a bit of a disrepute. So I think times like these really test our aspects of what we really value and what we really treasure. And I think people now more than ever will really be focusing on their health and looking at different ways of how they can still be keeping active, healthy, focusing on their lifestyle. Personally, at the same time, I'm also trying to put out some tips or videos for people to be more healthy and to optimize their lifestyle during this pandemic, with regards to you being closer to your kitchen all the time. So you can either be in Bedroomville or go to Kitchen Fontaine, or go back to the Bathroomville. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. But you really need to try to limit your sugar intake by try to prevent yourself from going around not going to the kitchen all the time. I really love what Dieter is doing with his close neighborhood, is that they try to be active within the house or around the house and doing different types of boot camp skills, which is so innovative. Preventing sedentary behavior for sitting too much, you're not going to be as active. So I think it has really given us some lessons during this time. I know it's a time now that we're really trying to think, when is this going to end? When will we be able to return to normality? We can't wait to go back to work. We need to get an income. I mean, every one of us have a different dynamic, or are going through different types of stages during this period. But I think just to appreciate the little things and be grateful for everything that is, and to also spend a lot of time on reflecting on the small things that matter in life. And, so I think we can't always also be very selfish that, I'm young, I'm not going to go out, I'm not going to wear a mask, I should be okay, I shouldn't. It's not about that. It's about how you affect the other people around you. because this disease is one of the most contagious viruses after the pandemic flu, the Spanish flu in 1918. And so the virtues of consideration and gratitude have never been as heightened as it is now. So I think for all South Africans out there, we can just focus on patience, focus on gratitude, support one another during this time, and support what our president is saying, because he has the most toughest job right now in trying to, whatever decisions he puts out there is for the nation, and whatever he says, we really need to try and support him and to try abide to the lockdown rules or whatever suggestions or rules that he and the cabinet are making.
That's true, Wes. Thank you. I've followed some of your posts on Facebook and Instagram, and I've noticed exactly, I've expected exactly what you said just now. I've expected that, and thank you very much for that. It's amazing. Thank you.
Jasper,
subscribe to his newsletter. It's important.
Excuse me?
No worries. No worries.
Jasper, I missed the first question, but as I could realize from their questions or their answers, it's something to do with the pandemic and health.
So it's really just, how did you cope? That initial, it was the Monday or Tuesday that they actually announced the lockdown. I said I went through quite a roller coaster of things, and a lot of things from our past generally come up when the crisis come up. So I think that's more or less, and there's reasons why I stress out, but I think the idea for now is just, how did you initially cope with that?
Sure. To be honest, there's a lot going on in my mind, a lot going on in my heart, especially being in a working industry that had permission to continue during the lockdown period, which is actually a blessing in disguise, because our company would most definitely fold and have to shut our doors if we could not continue during this time. So it was extremely difficult to explain that to the employees, that, you know, as the employer, we would do our utmost best to make sure that all the health systems are in place to ensure that they do have a safe working environment. Most of our admin staff was capable of working from home and is still capable from working from home. So it was a lot on my heart, where you had people just that were very negative, and they heard that it's lockdown and they're not going to work. So to convince them that, guys, it's actually for your benefits. You know, if you don't work, you won't be able to earn a salary, and you won't be able to support your family. So being HR and being the one responsible for about 300 employees was really a lot on my plate, and to keep them positive and to keep them motivated during this time. So I just felt that that I wish that people could understand the situation better. And sometimes, you should ask, it's not what the company can do for them, but what they can do from their side, to support the company that actually provides a salary for them to support their households during this time. So yeah, it was a very difficult time for me going through that, to explain that to keep them positive. But I eventually got it right. And sometimes to be honest, I must say that my belief and my faith and believing in a higher dimension helped me a lot during that time, because I just said that as a human being, I can only do so much. The rest I have to leave in God's hands. And I really pray that somehow that God will provide. And of course he did, and he always will. So that always keeps me positive. And yeah, my personal lifestyle, I always say that a healthy body leads to a healthy mind, and that leads to a healthy lifestyle. For me, keeping fit meant that I would then be mentally strong enough to handle certain situations, and which indeed I was. And of course, believing in a higher dimension also helped me a lot. So yeah, that's my 5 cents, if I can say that.
There's a lot of sense. Thank you very much. Yeah, I must say, also that very first night, I spoke to Dieter as well about it, but that very first night, I had very sleepless nights for various reasons. Some business failures from the past that came up. Obviously, it's always when you have failures in your past, which all of us does, and it's something not, I'm not going to say be proud of, but to treasure, and something that you can actually teach and assist other people when they're going through the same as well. So I slept bad about that, and I slept bad about I knew what's coming regarding clients, that will be an overflow of expectations of wanting answers, and I mean you don't get the answers as quickly as they give the quick lockdown speech. So yeah, so I had a number of things, but I also believe I think faith is a big, like Heinrich also mentioned just now, is faith is a big thing. I believe God is working with a bigger plan, in the sense of um, we get taught about all about mindset, about the ego, and I must be honest, I'm going to talk about it in a moment, but luckily no three of you that I know of you are all three very humble human beings. You have your celebs in the case of, I mean, public eye, but you are very humble. Um, there's no egos really going on, but I believe God is working to a plan with less mindset, less working with your mind and your head, and running your business, running your life with your heart and your soul. And some time ago, I spent a lot of time with my mentor online, and last year I went to his conference as well, Robin Sharma, and he talked about mindset, health set, heart set, and soul set. So if you start combining all those things in your life, in your life and personal life and in your business, you start realizing that the pandemic right now is obviously it's a health risk, so we need to sort that out. It's the mindset, and I can buy anything with my money. I can sort out anything with my money. Went out of the door the moment the lockdown came in. So it's really, we can't sort everything out with our mindset. Now we need to look at our bigger purpose, and what's the reason we wake up in the morning bigger than ourselves. The Japanese got a beautiful word, they call it the ikigai, but it's a reason for waking up in the morning that's bigger than ourselves. And Habib actually stated this nice in his initial introduction to himself as well. He told us exactly his ikigai. So I think if you can synchronize all those items together, and going out of this lockdown and getting out of this lockdown, and we still be in that mindset and heart set, health set, and soul set, and running our life and our businesses with that, I think there's a beautiful world opening up to us as we go along. So I'm gonna see if I can share it. I actually wrote something. I think I've sent it out this morning as well. Let's see if I can share it. And there you go. I'm sure everybody can see that. So I'm just going to quickly run through it, but it's basically on COVID-19 words. But if you're a business, it's for business builders, it's for entrepreneurs, it's for yourself as well. But the scene in COVID is for consistency. Anything you do, we've got personal trainers on here. You need to work on your health consistently. It's not just something that you do every week or every month. You actually need to work on everything consistently every single day. That 1% difference every day in your business, in yourself, your personal growth, your health, everything. And then always for opportunity. And in every crisis, there's opportunity to grow. There's opportunity for anything new. It's like a mountain burning down. There's always that new beautiful flowers and trees and everything that comes out of the mountain. Something needs to burn down or be broken down before something new can actually come out of this. So it's an opportunity for us to grow personally, but also grow as stronger leaders. The V, I'm just running quickly through the V is for vision. And like I said, follow your ikigai. I think that's the most important thing. If we can discover what is the reason we're waking up in the morning that's bigger than ourselves, it's not just about money. When we start following our ikigai, actually money will follow, but that mustn't be our initial idea. The I is for instrument of service. And I think Dieter actually talked about that as well. But create value. Be the generous person that you know. Generosity breeds abundance. So in this time, it's your time to actually be an instrument of service. And all of us can do that. All of us had something to offer the world. We just need to find what is that specific guy that we can do, or that we need to follow. D for daily gratitude. I'm not going to talk about that. Dieter already mentioned that as well. Grateful people are happy people, and happy people are successful people in all places of life. So I think that's enough said. And then just lastly, Joshua 1 verse 9, have no command. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Don't be frightened. Do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So I think that's quite, when I read that, it was quite tense for me, in the sense of, again, God is with us and he wants to show us the path going forward. So I'm going to stop talking. It's not about me, but I think that it's just valuable to share, maybe share that idea with you. Just want to quickly see if there's anybody. There's a lot of people actually commented as well. Alec Marie van Sou, one of our monthly accounting clients. See where she mentioned something I can't find now. Something like, well, health is wealth. They're obviously part of a network group it's also in the health industry. So Irinka Becker, wow, hello from Paranoid. And Mavin Bumwe from what is that? Is a bully? It's also an NPO. When we go through tough times, we need to say less of me, Lord, and more of let's take control, God, because it's, yeah. So I struggled to read that. But yeah, I think if there's anybody else that of you guys that also want to just add something else regarding to get through this time, how we can prepare ourselves. The floor is yours.
Wow. Thank you, Jasper. Very inspiring. I truly appreciate all the knowledge that you are sharing. I always say that being a former teacher, you become a lifelong learner. And I was always, and I will always still be open for learning. And in this difficult times, of course, I always hold on to my faith. But there is so much people with so much knowledge and so much advice. The people must always just be open to want to learn and to know, to learn on what to do during difficult times, and especially with the businesses and business rescue. And so I just feel that I always try my best to educate myself in the best means. Of course, you do have your reliable sources. And I take what's worth for me, and the rest, I just comes in and out, and that's what's needed for me. I hold on to, and I implement that in my lifestyle. And to be honest, it has worked for me. 99% of the time, it has worked for me, because I'm always seeking for ways to improve my lifestyle, for ways to improve the company that I'm in. So my advice for people out there is just to surround yourself with people that uplift you and that will help you to move forward in life, and that sees positivity in you and spreads a positive vibe, if I can say that. Because there's a saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. But then they also say sometimes that your vibe is so good that you attract some people that are negative, and some people that are that don't want to do certain things in life, or just are pessimistic. So you're gonna have that people around you as well sometimes. Of course, you have to look past that, but look for means to that will improve your lifestyle, and be hungry for that, if I can say that. So basically, I want to put out the point there is that surround yourself with people that will uplift you and help you to move forward in life.
I agree with that. And I think I just want to follow on with what Jasper has said with regards to Robin Sharma. And he had basically shared such valuable information. And I just want to share my phone over here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Can you see my phone?
Yeah. There you go.
health,
so
social, career.
That's right. So he speaks about the 7 different types of wealth. And I think a lot of the time we only consider one type of wealth, which is money or finance. But he speaks about health wealth, speaks about social, which is family and friends. He also speaks about career, finance, adventure, of the amount of things that you want to get rid of on your bucket list. He's also talking about impact. And I think for all 3 of us, as Mr. S says, this really resonates with us because we're very passionate about making a difference in people's lives and helping where we can. And then lastly, the other one is spiritual wealth. So I think those kinds of things really gives us an opportunity to kind of reflect and see where are we placing ourselves in these various areas of wealth, in these various areas in terms of making a difference, and where we are in terms of how wealthy we are, not necessarily how rich we are, but how wealthy we are in other facets within our life. And I think that's really important. And then there's this app here which is called Blinkist, and Blinkist is really a nice time for people to really use during this time, which is basically a lot of books that you can go through. There's even ones which you spoke about in terms of Robin Sharma, and he's got like a lot of books with regards to keeping positive during this time. The one that I really like is the 5 a.m. Club, which talks about discipline from early parts of the morning, and he shares really important aspects in these areas. So, and Blinkers basically gives you, as you can see, a 12-minute summary and 8 blinks of a summary of this book. And so instead of reading while you're doing daily chores around the house or while you're doing different things or whatever you're doing, you can listen to Blinkers, and it gives you summaries. And Blinkers has made this now free, and you can actually get a 7-day free trial to do different types of things. So there's so many apps and there's so many things that we can do during this time to really reflect and captivate on the things that we can improve in our life. It's not only about improving our health. It's not only about making sure our wealth is in place, but what are the other types of wealth that we also need to focus on during this time?
Awesome. There's a very, I just want to see if I can quickly find that book. There you go. It's Robin Sharma, Leader Without a Title. That's probably my favorite book of all time, because it's, and like I said, again, I think that's applicable to all 3 of you that's in the public eye, inspirational individuals. But also don't worry about the title that much, but rather worry about the impact that you can have to the public and to the community. And all 3 of you are humble souls. And it's a very important point to don't focus on your title. Doesn't matter if you're a CEO of the company. It matters more of what you can offer to the world. You can be the secretary of the company, but you can offer the best insights for that company. So, and the same for the CEO, be open to everybody that's working below the rank order from you. They can offer you a lot of information and a lot of value. So it doesn't matter where you are, add value as far as you can, as much as you can. I think that's it's a good time to also reflect on. This is a time that you can show your value to your clients. It's easy to show and to state your value, what you are prepared to do in easy times, but it's not that easy when the action need to happen to show that. And it's the same with employer relationships as well. This is a time to show the loyalty that you have to each other. And let's say, I mean, if you like Heinrich is in transport, and like it's just mentioned in the beginning, there might be some of them that might be retrenched, but I mean, it might be a short-term solution, and then we go on with business as usual. But it's a respectful thing, and we need to offer each other the best value that we can at this stage. And just, sorry, I'm going to give you a chance right now, but I think just to add on Heinrich as well, regarding the people you surround yourself with, I like the saying, it's a guy from Silicon Valley, can't remember his name now, but that talks about the 5 chimps theory. So it's the 5 people you surround yourself with around is how your behavior and your thinking habits will adapt. So with chimps, the chimp's behavior can be very much estimated by the 5 chimps you surround themselves with. So I think it's very important. And another thing is emotional contagion. So when you surround yourself with certain people, the emotional contagion kick in, and you start thinking and behaving like the people that you surround yourself with. So if you're not surrounded by inspirational people right now, I'm very blessed. I've got a lot of inspirational people around me, and I'm trying to surround myself as much as possible with them. And there's only way that you can, if you receive inspiration from the top, you can give inspiration to the bottom as well. There's always a bottom and a top. You need to receive it from a mentor, and you need to be a mentor to other people as well. So anyway, on that point, Dieter, now's your chance.
Yeah, so yeah, it sounds like we're doing marketing for Robert Sharma today, but I think I heard from you a survival guide for wartime, I think, something like that, which is a free download that he's making available right now. And I read through that, and it's basically just saying what we're talking about now as well. First day of lockdown, I realized I need to spend some one-on-one time with myself. So I did a quick assessment, and I had to look at those values or points that Habib earlier showed mentioned. And I realized there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside of me. I need to take care of my family, but I also need some growth. So I did a quick assessment, realized, okay, cool, we've got a few days, we might have a few weeks or a few months. We don't really know when it's going to end, but so we've got some time to grow. So it's an amazing opportunity to do this, reinvent yourself, and be stronger once you get out of it. What I also realized is exactly like you're saying. Ron also said this: the 5 people that you surround yourself with will determine where you end up, determine your destiny. So you have to make sure you are spending time with quality people that are putting you forward and not putting you down. I also thought, as you were talking now, about something that I learned from a mentor years ago. I always look to someone else for motivation. I thought it was someone else's responsibility. This guy just mirrored it to me that inspiration is something you need to find yourself. It's your responsibility to the world. So if you pouring from an empty cup, that is you not being true to yourself. So you can't look to someone else to do some motivation for you. That's always good to find some motivation, but it doesn't really last. You have to find some your own inspiration, and then it's your responsibility to make sure you have yours. So during this time, I realized, okay, it's end of athletic season. I'm actually running a bit empty. My tank is a bit empty, so I need to spend some quality time for myself. And that's what I'm really making at the moment. I can really feel like I'm more energized. I'm getting ready, and as soon as we get out of it, I'm going to use the road running. So yeah, I'm quite excited about what's going on in the world at this stage, and I think we're all going to be strong and better. Once we get through all of this.
Yeah, for sure. There's a saying that goes, your outer world can never be better than your inner world. So I think it's a very good time for us to do our inner work. If you haven't done inner work in this time, you will probably run out of excuses not to do it. So I think it's a good time to start reading. You mentioned 5 AM Club is an excellent book. I think that's probably the best book I've ever read on a number of items. So I think definitely go for that. Let Marie van Saal actually mention something about strong sailors. But that's so true. And in these times, strong sailors have never been created in calm seas. So be thankful. In fact, be thankful for this difficult time. Be thankful for the winter season that we are in, because if you take this on and take the opportunity in this, you can actually create yourself in a much better leader and a lot stronger leader than you've been before the lockdown. So do that inner work. Inner work is not easy, especially if you go to your heart and your soul. It's very difficult. But do the difficult work, and you will see the outer results coming from there in this time and after lockdown. So most definitely, guys can go on. I just want to see if there's any other comments that people. There's a lot of comments going on. Just see if I can read it. Chris Lippenaar says, "Stay blessed, chaps." Let Marie, you are strong, courageous. Yes, let's become strong sailors. Heinrich, going to test blinkers sounds good. and maybe again agree at the end it's just a title and rather leave a legacy. So I think we all do on that. It's I thought you were falling from your chair. You're passing out on me.
I think what happened there was Heinrich was modeling on the ramp and he unfortunately.
Okay, yeah.
I was on Facebook Live too, going through the comments on my side.
He was so alive that he almost fell from his chair. Right, so I think I want to actually quickly talk to you guys about this. Also a course that bigger than yourself, and that's Upcycle, that actually all four of us are part of as well. So Dieter, I think if you want to take the lead on this, and just tell us a bit more about Upcycle and what's it about.
If you ask, yeah, I'm good. You actually should start with Heinrich. I think it's probably his brainchild. I've known him for a few years, and I've always known how passionate he is about sport and about giving and giving hope. And I love sharing his story. Since I first met him, I just really fell in love with his story and how he changed his perspective on life, even though life dealt him a few horrible cards. So when he first spoke to me about it, and we started to connect the dots, I just realized there's something really big happening there. So Upcycle is basically using what people aren't using anymore and upcycling it, making it a bit better, and give it to people that don't have. So if you started with him, he would probably tell you about sports equipment that he received over the years and how it changed his life. I honestly believe that sport is a very powerful weapon, a very powerful tool that we can use to change the world. And all four of us, everybody involved in Upcycle, really believe in the power of sport. But we've got a very diverse community, very diverse country. So we have to keep up. We have to help develop talent and give chances and career opportunities to people. So yeah, I'm going to cut myself short because I think Heinrich will probably be a better testimonial on this. I love his story, and I think that's the reason why he's the face of Upcycle. Not only because he's the story.
No, Dieter, you couldn't have said it better. And the fact that I'm blessed to have you three on board as well, Jasper, with his accounting knowledge, and Habib, also a sports lover, and Dieter yourself, a fitness fanatic. I couldn't agree more that even the great Nelson Mandela said that sport has the power to change lives. And it's a very simple concept that we're using, but it's making such a big difference out there. It's basically, as Dieter said, disregarded sports equipment that people don't use anymore. And some people are fortunate enough to donate new equipment. So it's a cricket bat or a tennis ball or a soccer ball or a rugby ball or any equipment that you would use to play sports that they don't use anymore because they might have done cricket for one season and all of a sudden they had a cricket kit available. And take that to someone that really loves sports but does not have the finances to fund themselves to be able to buy equipment to do a certain sport and give that to them. It's like life-changing. My most amazing story, or the saddest story, basically, we were in an informal settlement and I was handing out the sports equipment and this little kid came to me and he's like, is this ball like really mine? Can I have it? I'm like, yeah, it's yours and you can go and play with it and enjoy yourself. And then you just couldn't believe that this thing actually belonged to him. And I could relate to that feeling because, you know, I always said that growing up in the orphanage where I was fortunate enough to people that donated sports equipment to me. And sometimes I would have 2 or 3 of the same equipment. I had 3 rugby balls and I only needed 1 and I could give 2 away. And that feeling of giving was really quite amazing to be able to be a giver. So I always say that I know what it feels like for the people that donate the equipment. And we always try to send some pictures or post some pictures on social media of where the equipment is going, even though we all are strong believers that our left hand should never see what our right hand does. And if you do charity, your camera should stay at home. But of course, people do find a lot of positivity in the posts that we do put up whilst we're handing out the equipment. So we are fortunate enough, and even in this time with COVID-19 and the pandemic that we're in, the most needed thing now, of course, is food and food parcels, and especially healthy foods. And we've opened up our platform, Upcycle SA, for people to donate funds, and we are using that funds to provide food parcels for family that are in need. So it's basically, as Dieter said, Upcycle SA is like taking someone from a worse circumstance and uplifting their circumstances for them, and putting them in a better position so that they one day will complete the cycle to be able to help others again that are in need. And that's where the name Upcycle SA comes from. And at the moment, we are actually a sport-driven non-profit organization, but we are able to feed families at the moment. So we are very fortunate to have our hearts in a place where we are able to give back and to use a platform that we are given. And we're so blessed to be able to have. And of course, Habib's, Dieter's, and of course your vision as well, Jasper, is that Upcycle will grow from strength to strength, because God really knows our hearts, and he knows our hearts are in the right place. And I believe that Upcycle will be blessed to continue to do the good work that we are doing. And it is never really about us, but for us to be able to help other people that are in need.
Oh, wow. Habib, you want to add anything, or is there anything that you can add onto this?
Well, I just want to say that I'm incredibly proud of Heinrich starting this brainchild of a wonderful NPO as Upcycle, and also for Dieter following suit with this, because there's a very few organizations in South Africa that are actually contributing towards giving back towards the sports fraternity. And from a research perspective, what we've actually found in South Africa, only 1 in 5 children or the youth participate in sport or physical activity. And that is a dire concern. Furthermore to that, they've also shown that 2 in 5 of the youth under the age of 18 smoke or are consuming drugs. And we know that this is very prevalent within the Western Cape community. 3 in 5 are physically inactive. So if they're not playing sport, they're also couch potatoes at home, so that they're not doing any type of activity. They're not even doing exercise. And the most devastating stat that we just come to know of now is that 4 in 5 of our youth are overweight. So focusing on an NPO like this as Upcycle, where we are not just focusing on the essence of humanitarianism, but even using sport as a platform to give back and provide hope, especially through Heinrich's story, is not just going to improve hope within our youth, but it's also hopefully going to increase and improve their livelihood and their healthy lifestyle behavior. So I think the NPO of Upcycle it just now provides further impetus for us to do more within the sport fraternity. And it's a big pleasure for me to be part of this organization and to assist wherever I can.
Wow, it's amazing. And we also, just from my side, we're also at this stage busy with the application for the NPO, and also for just for the NPO status. The company's already there, and also the PBO, the actual tax advantage certificate, the Section 18A certificate that you can get. So we're in process of that. It's obviously difficult with lockdown, but we will get there eventually. So yeah, but I mean, it's obviously a nice regulated, proper NPO registered company. And then lastly, before we look at any other questions, you also, the three of you also, it seems like you do everything together, but it seems you also started a new company and the new coffee brand, Presidential Coffee, if I'm right. Any of you tell us about it?
The last man in will talk about that. That we're basically just combining all our passions, and we had a coffee meeting, and then we just started speaking about coffee. Heinrich and Habib started out first, and we're also looking at making Upcycle sustainable, almost self-sustainable. So that, and I think that's something that's lacking. We don't want to only receive money from people. We want to create money so we can give more. So, and that's part of our responsibility as well. So, and that's being part of Upcycle. So yeah, it's basically just combining our passions, passion for sport, passion for people, passion for coffee. We might add I don't know. We might have a few lines going forward. We never know. We never know what will happen. But most important to us is if we receive, we want to give. So yeah, that's for me. That's the bottom line of what we're doing.
Is there a story behind presidential coffees? Is there a story behind the name of presidential coffees?
I think the essence behind the word presidential came from a time where South Africa was really questioning leadership. And I think where we were really yearning to see better leadership within society and within the African continent. And so we put this together and we patched it as presidential. And in first, we actually had a few names attached to different flavors. We can't really speak about it right now.
You're going to have to. You can bear it all.
I'll let Heinrich do that. But I think just to kind of give like a bit of a spin-off from a humor perspective, because that's the kind of characters that Heinrich and I can be, especially when we're drinking milk the whole day. And then that was the other aspect of doing a coffee brand, is that we all love coffee, we all love sport, and integrating both presidential coffees with Upcycle there was no better fit. So I think that's where the story for presidential coffee came from, was not just to make a coffee brand, but also to use, it's more, the emphasis is more on the brand, to inspire better leadership and hope, as well as for men to treat women and kids with more respect and vice versa, and to really reduce the prevalence and the incidence of gender-based violence. And I think if we can inspire those kinds of virtues of good hope and leadership through a lovely coffee brand, then hopefully we can reduce those kinds of incidents. But I think more importantly, it's about also enjoying the coffee and having fun.
Yeah. I think our eventual dream is to open up a coffee shop where the younger generation or everyone is actually welcome to come and sit down, and we can have a place where people can meet up and just find inspiration and share stories. And my biggest dream is that we can use this as an example. So of course we believe that we are starting small. We had a vision, and we registered, and we got our branding, and we're starting small. And our biggest dream is to open up our own coffee shop one day. And I believe that will happen one day, and people can look back and say, wow, we can find inspiration from these guys, starting small and growing as the years were coming along. And then that would be a place where people come and find just some inspiration, where you can meet up with Dieter and Habib and myself and just have a coffee together and share your dreams and share what's on your heart. And yeah, be like a safe haven and just find some leadership.
Right. I just want to see if there's anything else. Any guys else want to say hi? Just quickly state there, say hi. I think we're about to close. I just want to thank you guys for joining me today. It's really amazing spending time with you guys. I actually met Habib actually just via WhatsApp some time ago. But I spent a lot of time with Dieter in my past since about 2012. On various levels. He became one of my 5 chimps. Not that he's a chimp, but one of my 5 chimps. And I also spent some time with Heinrich as well at some stage, with the interview last year in Chamonix, and we had an amazing time. And from the conversations that I have, again, it's keep being humble and keep being servants of excellence and instruments of service to the world and to South Africa. I think South Africa needed like never before. The world needed like never before. And keep being awesome. Keep your feet on the ground and live your ikigai as you guys doing at this stage already. So yeah, thank you very much from my side for joining me.
Thank you for your time, Jasper, and thank you to all the guys. I think it was a great session and good to see everyone. We should do more.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
I definitely learned a lot.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Just a quick reminder to grab your gift bag for entrepreneurs in the link below. It's a gift bag for entrepreneurs to the value of 57,000 Rand, free of charge. All you need to do is activate it. Part of that gift bag for entrepreneurs is a voucher of 3 months for 3 months free accounting services from a company, Dryk Holdings. All you need to do is activate the gift bag voucher in the link below, and we will in contact with you as soon as you've done that.